All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our second game of the second series of the night. It will be between Taichi Gaming and PSG.LGD, and it is, of course, MLPDota joining you and joined by the lovely johnxfire. John, I love the first pick. Love it. FY, I was watching in lobby, he said he wanted first pick. I thought, oh, what's he going to start with? He just picks Rubik.
Ah, I mean, what can you say about this? I mean, it's FY Rubik. We've seen it do so much work already, Mike.
Have
I don't need to say
mercy.
anything about this.
Have some
I
mercy
don't need
on
to say
them.
anything about it.
Like, you just, like, LGD just destroys Taichi in game number 1. And then FY decides, I will show no mercy to this team. I will welcome them to DPL with open arms. Chooses the Rubik. I can only imagine what's coming for Taichi, but look, we talked about it. I actually want Taichi to do well in this game, right? It's LGD. I want them to put up a good team fight. I would love to see them win this matchup, but they've got to draft differently. For the love of God, they can't go something generic that was in 7.19 because it's not going to work against LGD. They played the whole season of 7.19. They came runner-up in TI8. And it's just like you're not going to win against LGD doing the same thing that they've been playing against for the last year or so.
Definitely so. I do agree with you, Mike. Taichi is shaking their draft up a bit. They pick up the Undying, which is a very strong lane support. Really has some strong. It has a great presence in lane. Can really sustain your core. It plays at the edge, so if you can really push that hero to the edge, it just gives you so much in return if you can play it that far. And they do pick up the Monkey King for themselves, so it's definitely a bit of a shakeup. Not the oddest opening, but it feels a bit stronger than their last opening, I have to say, Mike.
Yes, it feels that way. We'll see how they follow up with this. Like, it's just two very strong picks. There's nothing to worry about with these picks, right? Like, they're pretty generic as well in their own right. We'll see how they mix it up, though, later on. LGD, they've got their second pick now. We'll see what they follow up with. Of course, you'd have to argue the first pick Rubik is a bit strange. Like, you don't generally see it being first picked of all things.
I think some teams do that, or you see it occasionally, but it's definitely strange. It just basically means that they're confident enough that whatever you pick up, it's going to be good on their side as well. So LGD is definitely very confident going into this matchup. They feel like they can get a lot of value out of the Rubik regardless of what it steals, which I think it's a fair point. I mean, FY again has been playing on point with his hero so far in this entire tournament. And I'm expecting the same sort of performance from him here, whether or not there's any big spells.
Well, third pickup now. Of course, that Rubik pickup, it does make you worry about the fact that, if you choose the wrong heroes, you're going to give way too much away. Again, it's an FY Rubik, right? Like, you have to understand that any ability that you have that you think he can't steal, he's probably going to steal off you. The man, he does it, and you wonder how he reacts so fast, but it's like he's just already pressed the steal spell button, and he's just got the cursor over your hero, just waiting for you to cast it. And he understands the range so well as well. Like, he'll be a mile away, and you think he's out of range for it, but he'll always land it every single time.
Oh yeah, and it's really thrown a spanner up against any other team. Like, they expect to win a big team fight. No, FY is there. You didn't catch him in the RP. You didn't take him out beforehand. Of course, he's just going to steal all your big spells, multiple big spells in one team fight. So, again, I feel like Taichi does have to be a bit wary, but Taichi also has to play to their own strengths. They do pick up the Winter Wyvern now. In conjunction with the Undying, that's a lot of sustain coming out with this duo. And a good amount of control as well with that Winter's Curse. Not much lockdown for that laning phase, not too much amazing control in that laning phase again. Then again, LGD also kind of has that same issue, although I'd say with Lich, with the way he's been reworked, he provides a lot of control.
Well, the Wyvern, not a bad pick whatsoever. Offers a lot in that team fight. course, counter initiation and just initiation with that Winter's Curse. The PSG.LGD, they will follow up themselves with a Centaur. A hero where it's kind of hard to know where he stands. Like, you've already talked about it multiple times, but the double edge later on in the game can offer a lot more than it used to. But earlier on, it doesn't seem as strong, and the Hoof Stomp was nerfed decently hard. In the Taichi Gaming, though, they will come back with a Morphling. That's interesting, John, because there's no one good to morph into right now. So I'm not really sure what the point of that was.
I honestly, I don't know. I'm not too sure. I can't say for certain. It's a strange pick for me to see. Yeah, I really can't think of anything off the bat why you the morphling up here. No one really good to morph into. I don't think there's any sort of a synergy that really comes out into the front, except for maybe just living on the edge with all the heals you have.
Yeah, but John, even that, like, choosing a Morphling into a first pick Rubik, the attribute shift, you're going to allow FY to just take that off you. And he's going to morph all his agility into strength, so then he's going to become a hell of a lot tankier. Like, that synergy between the Rubik Morphling has been around since Rubik came out.
Yeah.
So and now we finally get to see the anti-mage on the bright side. So that's exciting.
Oh, put a smile on my face, Mike, because I was thinking the draft just seemed so odd, and then suddenly you get the AM, and then suddenly it all comes together, Mike.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see what happens with this AM now. Ame has been playing on point, and him on that AM would be interesting to see, especially with that rework the spell shield. The fact that he can reflect any spells now within a 1.6, 1.4 second time frame on a 3-second cooldown at max level. He could potentially reflect Winter's Curse. You know, that'd
be hilarious.
There's just so much.
He could actually
to watch out.
If the morph managed to get like shotgun build, he could just reflect that.
Oh yeah, and it's not just one part of the shotgun that gets reflected, it's all of it. Because it's every spell casted in that window. Every single spell.
10 seconds remaining.
On the bright side, it gives Morphling a decent target to morph into. I suppose. Right. You'll get a blink. That's nice.
I suppose. I mean, you could definitely close the gap better with that. You'd have your waveform and the blink, so you can run away quite nice. I'm not sure if you'd be happy to really try to man fight. I guess you could. Let's see how well it goes exactly here. I do like that pick. Again, that AM pick gives me a bit more confidence compared to the Morphling pick coming out from Taichi. Again, I just don't see the dots connecting yet for Taichi. This last pick has to be something that really ties it up quite well. There are a couple of options I think that might work, but I don't know, that AM pickup is just... It kind of takes out the OD from the equation, because that would just kind of be a ticking time bomb if you have that OD, because he's going to be sucking up Int, of course. It would be nice for the burst from Sanities and the lane domination that it brings now with the change to his Essence Aura. But, I don't know.
They'll finish with the puck for the side of LGD. A very strong lineup, it seems. Like, they are looking very, very powerful right now. We're sitting here questioning Taichi's draft quite a lot. We don't know what to expect from this. There's not much synergy coming out. It looks just all over the place. Not to mention, John, I mean, you've got the Winter's Curse, you've got the Wukong's Command, but overall, I don't see great team fight coming out of them either. Like, it doesn't mesh together.
It definitely relies on the Monkey King or the Morphling really farming up early on to maximize what team fight potential they do have. They cannot afford to wait too long, because the AM will come online. The Ember Spirit does tie up the draft pretty alright. I mean, it brings them good AoE damage, decent amount of control. It will be laning against the Puck. I don't think we've seen that lane matchup in forever, but that mainly comes down to the fact that Puck has been gone for a very long time.
I mean, I'll go out there and be honest, John. Like, from my perspective, this does look like a complete outdraft. from this. Like, LGD just looks so much better.
I mean, I feel like Taichi's draft does have potential. It does have potential. It's just much harder to realize that potential. You know, it's much easier for LGD to just do what they want. Their combination's a bit more clear cut. Their objectives are much more clear cut. Just basically protect Ame until he farms up, and that's it, right? It's fairly straightforward. For Taichi, you want to get levels in your Ember Spirit. You want your Monkey King and Morphling to have a decent time farming. You want your Undying to be able to shut down the enemy cores. Whereas LGD really just have one goal in mind: keep your AM safe. I think, and it's much easier to execute that than relying on multiple things to happen, Mike.
Well, we'll see how it goes. At the very least, we get to see the debut of the AM in the DPL. It should be a lot of fun to watch. FY's Rubik, always a pleasure to watch. And let's see if Taichi can put up a decent team, decent team fight, or decent fight during this game, or even win it. I'm telling you right now, John, I would love to see Taichi pull off this win. I really would.
Very surprising. Considering even just the draft, I would be very pleasantly surprised. Don't get me wrong. It would be nice to see. And that would make for quite the story. In fact, I'd expect quite the gameplay if they do manage to win. It's just, just looking at the draft, looking at how they played in the last game, the draft doesn't make me any more confident based on how they played the last game as well.
Oh, we'll get into it. We'll suss out what happens this time around. Of course, the Radiant side will be taken by Taichi. FY and LGD will be on the side of the dial. They're actually putting Mint in the offlane as that Morphling as well. So they are giving the Monkey King what appears to be the safe lane. And of course, the Ember will be in mid. Then again, like with that Morphling in the offlane, it does just feel a bit greedy in a sense, right? Like, is he really going to be able to secure enough farm to be relevant throughout this game?
It looks like they are ready for Mint to have a rough time. He did buy 9 tangos, so 3 sets of tangos off the bat, expecting that he will need to somewhat try to sustain himself in that lane. It's going to be a bit of a rough time, I feel. I mean, you do have the Undying. You can try to bully out, but against the AM and what looks to be X-Nova, looks like he's going down. They will bring FY up top. So up against the AM Rubik, which of course, I think that's easier compared to facing off against the AM Lich. The Lich just does so much in that lane. Makes it really hard to zone out that AM. Against a Rubik, sure, yeah, FY is really good at it, but again, early levels, the Undying's just, it's still pretty good, so you do have to watch out.
Well, they are getting started this bot lane. Chalice will back off. X-Nova looks like he'll stick around for that bounty rune. And both teams will just snag 2 for each other, so a very even start. Mate, trying to provide some damage against Bing, and he went for a very, very early mana break. So he is already feeling very confident. Doesn't wait out in case he needs that blink. We'll go straight for that. So you already see Bing losing a lot of mana. He only has 1 mango available on him as well. So we might see, that decay spam, but after a few, he's not going to really have enough mana to keep going.
It's not going to be that sustainable, especially just 1 source of regen. It's a pretty costly spell at level 1. It's 70 mana, and it just goes up if you do invest more points in it. So he has about 2-3 casts left in him.
Bing will get started. Mint already losing a lot of HP. Of course, again, he does have 9 tangos available, so he can regen very, very quickly. FY will start the harassment as well. Meanwhile, mid lane, we do see Somnus. He is up against Ifu on that Ember Spirit. Overall, I mean, that Park, like, with that right-click damage, he does deal a lot of harassment. It's very easy to CS with it as well. I imagine we will see Somnus just take over this lane.
It does feel like that. Again, that Ember Spirit takes a while to really come online to start tanking the magic damage coming out from Puck. Even then, Puck has pretty high base damage. 71 right now with just that 1 Null Talisman and the Mantle. So he hits like a truck even without spamming his spells.
Bot lane as well, X-Nova and Chalice, they are up against the Monkey King and Green on that Winter Wyvern. Again, that Frost Shield with the Centaur, like he can just run in, go for the Hoof Stomp whenever he feels like it, and he will get started right now. Monkey King will be the target. Can they actually burst him down? It looks like they can, although he will salve up to survive, and some nice body blocks coming up from Green. That's a double salve being used up. Looks like Green actually gave his own salve to make sure the Monkey King can sustain in the lane.
I mean, it's a nice move to save your Monkey King, but you've just basically lost most of your emergency healing in the lane. So you do have Cold Embrace now, at very least. You managed to hold out long enough to get your level 2s. That's pretty significant. But again, if the lane just pushes out just a bit for Taichi, and there's an opening for LGD to come out and harass, they will.
It looks like Chalice already trying to get into position to provide that harassment out. There's still, we do sit at a 0-0, almost 3 minutes into the game. Everything is relatively quiet, though. As expected, Somnus is starting to take over that mid lane. He's already got 10 denies, John. His 14 last hits, 10 denies on this puck. That gold actually starts to add up, and he finds the kill onto the Monkey King. Meanwhile, if you, though, mid lane is in trouble. Somnus is making the chase. One more right click will do the job. He will have a orb in a few seconds. If you might just deny himself to the Roshan, the orb, it will make it in, but the Roshan will find the kill. Not a bad play from If You, though. That respawn time is quite high.
It definitely is. I'm not sure if that was worthwhile. Sure, you deny the gold away from Somnus, but he's going to get 2 waves of creeps, at least 1 wave of creeps uncontested. And you miss out on about half a wave of XP as well.
Now FY is being chased down by Mint. He will salve up. FY playing very aggressively. Bing is in the tree line, but Arme just starts draining the mana with the mana break. They really do not want to allow Mint to get in there for those last hits, and he is struggling. He's only at 8 right now in comparison to the 16 of Arme. But I suppose we did expect this to happen. Like, they must have understood by putting him with this Morphling in the offlane, he pretty much would not be able to farm at all.
It's not an easy time for him. Again, he's being zoned out quite bad by the Rubik. There's not much the Undying can do. Again, I think that came down to maybe copying up 2 right clicks too many from Ame. It's really costly as an Undying if you lose those points of mana, as you know, all your spells are kind of costly. There's nothing really cheap you can spam out, and you want to spam this out a lot. So you will have, you know, it does cost you a bit in that laning phase.
Chalice, bot lane is going after the Monkey King. Will be alright. On mid lane, If You copying a lot of harassment. The orb goes in as well. Somnus, 1 more right click. In fact, it will be more than 1, but he will fairy fire up just in case, and does salve up as well. So Somnus really is all over this mid lane, John. 27 last hits, 17 denies in comparison to the 15 and 4 of If You. And it's going to hurt the Ember Spirit a lot, especially considering he's nowhere near even getting his bottle yet.
Yeah, speaking of that, I mean, Somnus does have his bottle coming in. I believe that's also his 3rd Null Talisman being finished up. And with that, he's going to hit even harder. He's going to have Sustain in the lane. And it's just that much harder to shove him out of the lane, Mike. He hits for 91 base damage. Up against If You's 62.
Bot lane, though. 2 kills being given the way of Taichi. They got a bit aggressive on that Monkey King. Chalice ends up falling. Meanwhile, mid lane, you do see the puck falling relatively low as well. Mint just attribute shifting right now. Though Arme will make the jump, and FY was there with the lift, and Mint will immediately start strength morphing. We'll be alright. So again, you look at the difference in last hits. He's currently 13 behind of Arme, and the Undying tried to go for the rune. Unfortunately for his sake, does not make it. Somnus ends up finding another kill. Chalice actually ends up fighting the Monkey King, John. I was not expecting that, but you look back and suddenly the Centaur somehow found range on the Monkey King. And now Green ends up falling to Somnus again. My apologies for all the missed kills, by the way. I don't mean to do that, but it's just very unexpected, that's all.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's
Really good
top
start
tower
so far
is
for
under
LGD
attack.
again. They're finding all these
Radiant
early
are
kills. They've really applied pressure on Mint. Mint's not finding the farm he needs. As a Morphling, you kind of want to have a decent time in the lane. I mean, you're not going to outright win the lane, of course, as a Morphling, but you should be able to sustain your farm. This is not sustained farm. 17-6 compared to Ame's 33-6. It's just very far behind. Not what you want to see. The only lane that's really winning out is probably the safe lane Monkey King with Ryoko. He is going 30-10 right now compared to the Centaur's 32-7, so he's right there, just behind, and he should be able to find what he wants.
Well, now they're going to lose their Wyvern again, Green. I don't know if he survived this though. Cold Embrace is there, but the Stampede comes in, and now the Monkey King's going to be in trouble as well. He tried a Mischief dodge, but he was just slightly off, unfortunately, and now Somnus. Another double kill for him on this puck.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, you said he was keeping up, John, but it really doesn't feel like it at this stage. He's died again. Now Ame top lane, jumps in onto Mint. He is strength morphing, but I guess it's not really the point right here. The point is that he's not farming at all. He comes back in. Tries to do some harassment out into Ame. FY. There are 3 heroes up at that top lane now. The Green, what can he really do as this Wyvern? Oh,
Oh god.
just jumps in and mana voids him. Alright, fair enough.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Looks like somebody was doing the calculations, just standing there behind the tree line, seeing if he could actually kill him off. The bot lane, Jingu Mastery has been procced on the Monkey King, but he won't actually move forward to try and harass Chalice at all. Yeah, there's just a lot of hesitation from Taichi. I mean, they're 2-7 with 3k net worth lead behind now. But you can feel the difference in teams' confidences. Although X-Nova is going to be in trouble. That Jingu Mastery coming in clutch with the Hoof Stomp will save the day, as well as that Frost Shield. Monkey King just trying to find this X-Nova Lich. X-Nova sticks around, actually does not get killed off yet. Now, oh, with the gaze, he was baited. The double edge as well as the Hoof Stomp, and he gets away with it. Oh, what a bait.
That was a beautiful bait coming out from X-Nova there. Just keeping that chase for so long. I believe the Jingu did fade away by then. And, you know, just that gaze is so strong, like.
It really is, John. You can really make all the difference. And it's nice to see Lich, of all heroes, being able to make plays like that now. It does really make the game of Dota feel just a bit better. The top lane, Ame. I'm not sure what he's up to. He's just waiting for a bounty rune right now. Usually you'd expect FY or another support to be doing that work, but looks like they will go for a gank attempt top lane. Mint will be the target. He does get lifted, thrown down as well. He doesn't actually have a level 1 waveform yet, John. Mana Void comes in and he's dead. I just realized he has no waveform. Why is that?
I guess he really just wants to try to farm up with higher points in his adaptive strike. Try to clear out creep in the jungle with his nuke. I think that might be the logic that you go into it at. It's hard to justify, I'll admit to you, Mike. I'm grasping at straws here, but that's one thing I can see. Maybe just to make sure that if you rotate in the jungle, you can at least secure your range. You know, just nuke it down with adaptive strike, do as much damage as you can, and try to secure yourself rage creeps. I think that's one thing you could.
You wouldn't rate that higher as having an escape mechanism to get the hell out.
Definitely not, Mike. But you know, benefit of the doubt. You know, maybe it's just a catch-up mechanic. Just trying to make sure he finds something in farm.
Yeah. Bot lane, they found the Monkey King. They've actually broken down the tree as well, and Chalice probably going to be able to pick up another kill for himself. The Frost Shield there to slow this Monkey King down. He tries to dodge at least one tick of that damage, and it will not be successful. They do leave Mint at that top lane by himself now. Though I say that, FY is still around, but I don't see FY really just soloing a Morphling.
Probably not, but you know, looking at the scoreboard now, Mike, I want to talk about the big picture. It's 2-10, 7K net worth lead at 12 minutes in for LGD. Ame on this AM has not been pressured at all. He is off to a decent start. Power treads 3 rate bans already compared to Morphling. He went for 4 rate bans because he can't even afford the boots.
It was a very nice play from Ifu in that mid lane. Now Chalice actually misses the hoof stomp with that blink dagger he just picked up. Saw Somnus perhaps getting a bit overly confident, and he can't afford to give kills away like that because that is a lot of gold to a very starved Ember Spirit.
Definitely is, Mike. You do not want to give this Ember Spirit way back into the game, as he would be able to pick the slack up over Mint. Mint right now, again, there you go. He's just going in the jungle, trying to find what he can. Poor guy, just still leveled 6. No power treads yet. Not going to be up for a while as well.
4 rate
Whereas,
bans.
yeah, I'm telling you, it's because he needed the stats. He couldn't afford to go for the power treads straight on.
Top lane, they will find one in green, and now they commit the Dream Coil. They find the Undying as well. Why the hell not?
Is under attack.
With that, the tier 1 tower should end up falling. Somnus, with that right-click damage, should be able to just take it out by himself. And he will do so.
Clean pickoffs for LGD, and the net worth lead just grows a bit wider. The one positive for Taichi is that if has been playing catch with it.
Chain Frost comes out, though the Monkey King is gone, and now, well, Mint, he has 1 level 1 waveform. He can at least get out now, but apparently that's not going to work either. He is still dead. Did he just start agility morphing? I'm pretty sure he did.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, I don't want to point at the negatives, John, but, we've got to point it out if that's what happened.
Yeah, it was a bit of a misplay, I guess. I mean, it does happen. It does happen to the best of us, but it definitely doesn't help their situation, Mike.
Oh, if you cops the gains, we'll be all right. Chalice waiting in the mid lane right now, though they know he's there. Or do they? Green hits him, but the blink was there before the damage actually ticked him down. Though they should maybe be able to find a kill. Probably not, though.
Tower is under attack.
They will not engage.
Radiant are
With this
scanning.
3 to 14, 11k net worth lead. They do scan out Chalice coming to the bot lane. You look at the Monkey King, I mean, he's got 2 Wraith Bands and Phase Boots, and that's really all he's got 15 minutes into this game. It's just not looking great. They're trying their best to farm up and get those core items, but LGD, as expected, they are starting to take over quite hard. Now mid lane as well. Looks like they found Ifu on that Ember. Somnus just takes him out very, very easily. FY will rotate down to the bot lane now. And it looks like Ifu actually tips FY.
Pre to 15. Again, Ame is just left to farm up as free as he pleases. He's going to have a good timing in that Battle Fury. And once that's up, I mean, it's just going to get worse. Ame's just going to get bigger and bigger. Ame's not even #1 net worth right now in his team. That goes to Somnus's puck. He's pretty much ahead of everyone else by a few 400 gold. He's going to take that tier 1 at mid solo again with the tier 1 up top.
Bot lane, Monkey King just gets destroyed by Chalice. X-Nova was there with the Chain Frost. Now the Winter's Curse, but nobody's really hitting the Centaur, and FY does not have the spell still. He does have Boundless Strike on him though, and he may just use it. In fact, he won't. He'll Fade Bolt Green.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
There's not much else to say about that, John. 15k net worth lead 16 minutes in. This is just an absolute whitewash at the moment. Mid lane, they found the Ember again. He's silenced up right now. He may be able to get out, but FY is there with the Boundless Strike and the lift. Now 3 to 19. They'll go for the tier 2 bot tower.
Under attack.
Do you have any words of advice for the side of Taichi right now at 16 minutes in, John?
Bottom tower has fallen.
Honestly,
It's very hard to say. It's very hard to say what they can do at this point. You want to get probably your Ember Spirit now and your Morphling as much as they can. Positive side of all these pushes, all these team fights, is that Mint is free farming for a bit. He's playing catch up. He's still behind FY's Rubik. I mean, he's pretty much even with FY's Rubik. So maybe get some farm going. Try to pick up an item besides a Wraith Band, and see how far you can contribute. It's pretty grim, Mike. It's pretty grim.
Yeah.
Right now for Taichi.
Yes, it
they
is.
don't have the farm they need on their cores. Their supports have not really achieved what they wanted to early game, and they just kind of lack control to play without items now.
Well, they are going to go for a smoke play. I like this. They're changing it up. But it looks like the smoke was broken anyway, and they're probably not going to initiate on Chalice, who broke the smoke. The Monkey King will keep eyes on him, but well, maybe they can find this kill. He's completely surrounded right now, Chalice. I don't know if he really cares about it, though. Wukong's command comes in. Now Stampede, and he just runs his way out. Might even turn it around. Hoof Stomp, 3-man Dream Call, and the Chain Frost comes out. It's like, what do you do about this? They jump on the Monkey King with Arme. He gets mana voided, and he is gone. Looks like Chalice is still pretty healthy throughout all this. The gaze is there from X-Nova, and now the Hoof Stomp again comes out from Chalice. 3 down. I want to say, if there's any hero you can't jump on right now, it's probably the Centaur, because he's the tankiest hero on the side of LGD. But at the same time, it was the only one that they could see, and I guess they assumed he was just completely alone. Which, to be fair, he was, but he's just way too tanky to take down.
Way too tanky, and LGD's lineup is way too jumpy. You have a Puck, you can close the gap quite well. You have an AM who also has that blink. And, you know, Centaur can just turn on Stampede as well. So it's very hard to actually lock any of these heroes down. You do kind of lack lockdown on Taichi's side. You're going to have to rely on Ember Spirit Root, the Morphling Stun, and pretty much Boundless Strike as well. Really hold someone down. You're going to have to commit those spells to try to kill someone. I'm not sure if you can kill off Chalice fast enough, but if you can jump something like X-Nova, that's going to be big.
Well, they're going to go into the Ember, top lane. There again, the Sinister Gaze coming in handy, and if you can't really do much. I don't even know if he had a Remnant out that he could go to, but he was Dream Called up. 3 to 23 now, 23k net worth lead. And I didn't even realize, John, but I believe we did hit the dream of the on the scoreboard. 322 was there. Very nice indeed.
Yes. Believe, yeah. Relief. We had it for a moment, and we'll always remember that moment.
Bot lane, they will get the Undying. Now FY, though, will end up falling. Now, can they find Chalice? The Jingu Mastery is there. There's a lot of damage coming out. Chalice, I think he's just dead. He turns around, Hoof Stomp. He's going to try and man fight. Look at the damage he's dealing to the Monkey King, but he will not survive. Very nice from the side of Taichi. Now top lane, though, they will just end up losing Mint. With that,
and
the final outer tower is gone.
Yeah, that was a good kill, a good set of kills for Taichi on FY and Chalice. Of course, those are very big quotes to get. They need more of that.
This curse is nice. They may end up finding the puck, but look at that Frost Shield blocking so much of that damage, and Arme wants to punish for that. He goes straight onto Green. Green, Sinister Gaze is there from X-Nova, and Somnus is there to finish it off, and now the Chain Frost. Look at that, John. Just rips them apart. 4 down for the side of Taichi. FY comes back in. Everyone's back up on the side of LGD. 21 minutes. I mean, it's getting, surely it's getting close to that GG call now. Like, with the 28k net worth lead ahead on the side of LGD.
It's very hard to bounce back. You've reached a point where AM now has that counter spell on pretty much only 1.6 seconds down, really. Because it's 1.4 seconds up, 3 seconds cooldown. So every other second he's going to have a spell shield that blocks every single spell and goes back to you. You will have to watch out. That's going to be a bit scary to play against. They are just clearing out the racks now. I believe we are going to see one last death on that bot Ceterax. I'm not sure if we pull. Okay.
They're going in top lane. Wukong's command. They'll take down X Nova at the least. And now, can they find Arme? They're making a run for it. FY trying to back off. They may go for FY instead of Arme. In fact, now they have no choice. Where the hell's Chalice? He's running in from the east side of the map. FY just juking around them right now. Waveform, he's just zigzagging. He's doing the best he can, and he will actually just blink out of there successfully. Now the Dream Coil is out. Bing should end up dropping. And with that, I think Mint is probably also about to drop. Though he is still sustaining. He will waveform out. The Monkey King trying his best to take down Arme. That is a pretty hard target to go for. They do get FY and X Nova though, at the very least. But the problem is now, your bot Rax is going to start getting taken out by Arme.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There's another smoke coming out, John. They're going to try the same trick again. Chalice now has a full heart at Raska.
Bottom tower has
The Monkey King, oh, he got spotted out. The Hoof Stomp's there anyway. And he's dead. They'll go for more. Bing will be the target. He is gone. And, well, I believe the rest of the team was probably gone. They may as well Fountain Dive at this point, though. Nice Winter's Curse comes out. They will get Somnus. Mint, a very nice stun on the Centaur. Can they actually burst him down?
Radiant's bottom tower.
No, they can't. Arme, he jumps back in. The Cold Embrace is there, but the double edge comes out. He comes back into the team fight to try and help out, but Chalice is literally running forward. And he is still not dead, this man.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom
And he's just going to heal up. Well, he's got 400 HP regen per second right now, John. It's not going to take very long to heal up. They're going to take down Ifyu again. That's a dieback on him. Mint, he goes in. He tries to do something about this. Chalice is just waiting in the corner. Chain Frost in the fountain. Are they actually going to die to this? Yes, they are. They're literally going to die to a Chain Frost in the fountain, John. And that'll be it. GG is the call. In all fairness and in defense of Taichi, they are up against the best team in the tournament.
That's right. That's right.
And this is their first series. So that's very unfortunate that they had to be up against LGD for their first series of the tournament.
It's the luck of the draw, and it wasn't quite there for Taichi, unfortunately enough. Face off against a team of the caliber LGD, it's really rough for any team right now. I mean, even this tournament, they're looking pretty dominant against the other teams as well. You know, it's a learning opportunity, I suppose. Getting some experience down against these sort of high-level teams. 8-39, right? You know, a second before 24 minutes up. 35k network lead for LGD. I mean, that was pretty clean from LGD, Mike. Just very clean.
Well, on that note, I mean, I agree with you on that sentiment, right? They get good experience, you know, just playing against these higher teams. Hopefully they learn a thing or two. Of course, again, there's nothing to feel ashamed about on the side of Taichi, though. They are up against the best team. This is still the group stage. They have plenty of time and plenty of chances to make their way up and get the score up so they can go into the playoffs. We'll see how they go, though. We'll see them again in a couple days, I believe, in 3 days to be exact. But in fact, no, we're not going to see them again until December 7th. How strange.
Very strange indeed, Mike, but that is the schedule, and, well, that's the way it rolls.
Yeah. On the brighter side, though, one final series of the night. It will be CDEC versus KG Luminous. It should be a much more even matchup, I would argue. It is MLPDota and JohnXFire, and we'll be right back with you guys in just a moment for the final series of the night. Won't be long, guys.